What's going on, guys? Freak here from the channel Frost and Fist, and I know you're probably sitting here enjoying the Friday night live stream or maybe even the Saturday UK friendly live stream, but I just want to take a few seconds to talk about our merch. That's right, the Frost and Fist got some merch, guys. We got a lot of really cool things that we think you might enjoy, like, for example, this t-shirt that I'm wearing. You'll see the Wolf Brother wear it on occasion as well. Not only that, we even have coffee mugs. Come on. You don't think a nice cup of Joe tastes heavenly coming from this bad boy? I submit that it does not. We got a bunch of other things out there as well. You can get really nice t-shirts, tank tops. That's right, guys. You can go around flexing your hobby muscles in front of the ladies. Oh, yeah. You can't go wrong that way. You can even get socks. You can even get that cool banner like the one we got, like that one. That's right, that one. So we got a couple of things. Go check it out, guys. They're reasonably priced, and it will help us to continue this crazy cause. And thanks again for helping us out and giving us some support. Now, back to the show.
Thank you, sir. We're happy to be here. Oh,
They can hear us, but not you.
I don't know. We can hear you just fine, but they can't in the chat.
Didn't one of ours do that?
Yeah, if the mic is muted and your settings there, then it might.
No.
We can hear you perfectly fine, and that's not a problem. But it's okay. So I'm not familiar with using Zoom other than just at work. So on the bottom left of the screen, ours is open. So I would check
wants
that.
to repeat everything he's saying. I say I don't know how to work Zoom.
Well, yeah. On the bottom left, when you move the mouse over it, Mythos, is a highlight and it shows you the microphone. If that's unmuted, then you're okay. On the bottom left of this Zoom screen. And if it's in, now we use OBS, so Streamlabs, I'm not too familiar with that. That's just a different version, but in the settings, it would be, at least in OBS, it's in the settings. Your audio out. Well, sometimes technology likes to fight back. We know. We've had it happen to us too. Yeah, okay. You guys,
Well,
he is trying
went
to get a
dark.
hold of Freak. There you go.
You paused it or something.
Does your headset have an inline, like an adjustment for your volume and stuff?
That wouldn't make it not work
No.
unless he has that muted.
So, can they hear us, Mythos, or is it just me and you now?
I think the whole system's paused.
Yeah, this is the only one. This is my only microphone. What is up, beautiful people? All right, can you guys hear me now? You can kind of hear me now. Hallelujah. Okay. All right.
Are we good now?
All right. I'll
Yep.
talk to you later.
I just turned my volume up on my phone.
Okay. All right. Dee says she can hear her voices.
That's
no
a-
video.
That's okay. We're about to
There
start
we go.
over. The no picture thing was intentional, so that way you guys couldn't see me scramble to fix stuff. All right, we're gonna fix it, and then we're gonna start it. Nope, that's okay. Click on that. Break the fourth wall for a second there. Done. All right, guys, we starting over. Sorry about that. What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolf Brother Mythos from the channel Frost and Fist, and as it goes, every single time that Freak can't make the show, your brother Mythos is like a fish out of water, and I am just floundering along. If told Freak earlier that if he had, if I made him a meal for every time that he saved my bacon, he would be a fat man by now. So. I mean, for serious, this guy pulls my butt out of the fire all the time. But we're fixed, we're working now, and we are here to celebrate our amazing guests. The lovely, the talented, the gaming couple, Gamers with Coffee. Please give it up for Brother Greg and the lovely Ashley.
That's a heck of an introduction, sir. Thank you. Thank you. We're glad to be here. You guys have a really good show. We enjoy watching you every Friday night. So we're happy to be here. Yeah.
Commodore says, new tech, same the potato. See, the problem is the user in this case. It is definitely user error. Oh, man. Atlas,
That's why I don't touch any electronic stuff. That's all him.
I've
All
always
screwed up.
told people
I don't
that
like it.
I'm like Dr. Grant when it comes to tech. So I don't know why they let me touch stuff. Sounds a bit echoey, but we can hear you. I don't know how to fix the echoey part for the moment, but we'll take it for now. So we got some amazing people in the chat tonight. We've got Deanne, celebrate good times. Come on, yes. We got Brother Freak in the chat. You'll notice he is missing tonight. He and his lovely, lovely, lovely wife Michelle are not feeling well at all. He called me up earlier today and let me know that he's absolutely feeling like poop today, and the show had to go on without him. So definitely lots of love out to Freak and his lovely Mrs. Freak, and let's all hope that they get better soon. We also have Keegan Peterman in the chat. That was trippy for a second. Got Gamecraft Dragon. We've got I think I mentioned Deanne, but hello again, Deanne. We've got G the Hyper Sapien. We've got a great channel in the chat, Gamers with Coffee. I've already used that joke, but you guys didn't hear that earlier, so it doesn't count. We've got Inquisitor Zane. Man, Zane, you somehow Somehow, it's always the episodes where the tech crashes that he knows to appear. Well, not that the tech crashed, the user crashed, but you know what I mean. Oh man. But there was an X-Gear Commander, happy freaking Friday. 33 Clay Dog, Brother Clay, good to see you, man. Lots of people, Flight of the Phoenix and the Commodore. As often as this happens, Mythos, you need a dry erase board. You right. Boost the spuds, man. It's not potato problem. This is a beautiful, beautiful piece of hardware right here. It's the guy using it. And of course, my lovely, lovely and talented Lily is in the chat. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for waiting so patiently as, we got things fixed. We did roll a D6, and thankfully we hit sixes as soon as Freak got on the phone. So, awesome. Kamita's just a potato after all. I mean, as much as that applies in this situation, I don't want to be the potato because me, my wife, and my kids always say that Paul Heyman is a potato man. I just don't want to be in the same category as Paul Heyman. All right. So, we've got some amazing guests here tonight. And, guys, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you guys are and a little bit of your history with gaming.
A little bit about us. So, our marriage is a little different than everybody else's. It's kind of like WWE SmackDown more than traditional marriage.
No, it's my way or no way.
See what I mean? So, we actually get along pretty well, and introduced Ashley here to hobby stuff a few years ago. So, kind of a blessing and a curse, because she went crazy with it. So now she's all into it, and it's fun. It's fun to have the other one in any relationship that wants to game too. It is a little more expensive. It kind of sucks when you're at work and your cards declined because your wife had to buy Blood Angel Captain box set and you had to go without lunch. But I can forgive her for that because there are things forgivable.
I plead the fifth.
Yeah, she pleads the fifth. I'm like, what? I thought I had money in there. Oh no, look at the bank. It says you went to the hobby store without me. So
I tried to get my lovely Lily into the hobby with me. She took a shine to Necrons. She didn't last in the hobby because the act of painting, she would get so focused that she would be kind of bent over painting or stooped over painting, and it would cause a lot of tension in her neck and shoulders. And the game itself, unless you're playing something small like Kill Teams, the game does kind of drag on, kind of long, and she just doesn't have the desire for a long, drawn-out game like 40K. But she does join me in other kind of games. She does join me in video games. We play card games, Duel Monsters. She's in Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Duel Monsters. She's actually, got a couple of the stronger decks in the group, which is very cool. She kicks my butt a lot. We actually get so competitive when we're playing cards, we have a rule not to play each other.
That might be, well, maybe. She's pretty competitive, man. I mean, I like Unleashed a Monster there. So, we play other games too other than Warhammer. So, for instance, if any of you guys know like Team Yankee or the Gale Force 9 tanks, so she has to be the Russians, always like the Death Guard or we're the Russians or something. And so, one day, like this package from eBay comes and I'm looking at it and I'm like, you ordered a Russian hat? A Russian officer's hat?
I warned you, I ordered it when we were on that live stream.
So that way when she could game against me, she had an official hat.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. So, it's fun. I mean, she's competitive and I lose sometimes. Probably more than I should. But it's fun.
Inquisitor Zane says, we need to get Gamers with Coffee in a 2v2 game with Gamecraft Dragon and Lady D. There can only be one wargaming couple in this chat.
Oh, no, there's room for
everybody. I love
everybody.
seeing couples, personally.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Gaming couples is cool. And that's one of the things, like, we started our group was to meet other gamers, you know what I mean? There's just too much craziness in the world to not enjoy something out of life. So hobbying is an enjoyable aspect.
I I always have had that mindset. I intentionally looked for a partner that would be a gaming partner, a player too in my life, right? And it just blew my mind to hear the other perception. I was at a local game store playing 40K one day, and I was like, oh, and I just complimented some guy's Necron army. I said, man, these Necrons look so amazing. My wife likes Necrons. I tried to get her in the game, but she just didn't take a shine to the game itself. And he's like, oh, well, you better thank God for that, because I don't want my wife anywhere near this hobby. This is my time to get away from her. And I'm like,
What?
I think you have more problems other than having your partner in the game if you feel the need to escape from your partner like that. I mean, maybe I just have a different mindset.
No, I agree with you on that.
No, if he would have done something like that, try to keep me from it, he probably would have been not too good.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
Greg could have laid down the law, and then of course promptly picked himself off the floor and wiped the blood from his lip, but he would have said it.
Yeah, too. I would have do a video from the floor. You can see I've lost, everybody. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got to have fun. I like the fact that she's in it and competitive, and it's okay. And sometimes she gets really, really feisty, but that is part of gaming too. So I think it's cool to meet other gaming couples, to be honest with you. It's just kind of a neat thing to see.
Okay, I can understand this part. Inquisitor Zane says, I don't want a significant other in the game just so that way they don't know how much money I waste.
Well,
that is a downfall.
Is it wasting money? To me, paying bills and taxes is wasting money, but buying miniatures is not. I consider that.
Fair enough. If it wasn't a Loyalist box set, then it would be bad. I'm not sure which box set we're talking about. James Meek says, "What's up, all? One of my favorite fellow Space Wolves, Mr. Meek's in the chat. Couple deathmatch, in which going back to the 2v2 game, and Phoenix would like to politely remind the chat there are 3 wargaming couples, because Phoenix and Commodore are one of the wargaming couples as well." Gondor says, time to put the gloves on, dip them in resin, and then glass to go at it. So, and anyone, of course, who hasn't, we do sometimes have some younger friends in the chat, so they may not get the Jean-Claude Van Damme reference there. But as a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, extra DKP to Gondor there. Let's see. Am I the Mythos, the man with the Orkin party bus? I am. Thank you so much. I freaking loved that project. On a serious note,
You're getting compliments.
Oh, thank you. I'm very, very happy with the amount of positive feedback I got on it. I really, part of me is like, I should do a showcase for that. But on the other hand, I got so excited earlier, I plastered it everywhere, pictures of it everywhere on the internet. So I'm not really sure I need to do a video, but I may have gotten a little carried away with where I was
Show different
it.
angles.
Mythos doesn't play with his old lady. She beats him like a redheaded stepchild. On a serious note, Lily does have a gold medal in Tong Sudo for breaking. And when I used to do my previous live stream called Wolf Brother Wednesday, the medal hung just above my desk where I would record the show. I used to joke with everybody saying that is my get right reminder. If I start screwing off, just got to point at the medal above my head saying, hey, I've got a gold medal, and wow. So that's when I learned to become a well-behaved, conscientious husband. I'm well trained at this point.
Well trained. that does help. Like I kind of know where I stand with her, and I know when to run. So it's a good thing.
Except when you're in a corner.
That's true. She just gets aggressive sometimes, but I love her, so That's what I missed.
She has a trophy made out of his teeth.
Oh, wow. Trophy made out of your teeth, they say in chat. Oh, that's a nice medal.
Yep, this is my get right reminder.
Get right. I like
the husband get right reminder. Gold go crunch, absolutely. And to get that gold medal, she had to demonstrate breaking with every part of her body. So she could do it with elbows, hands, feet, knees, her head. There's not one part of her I don't have to feed. So seriously, guys, if I disappear under mysterious circumstances, use this video for evidence. Anyways.
You gotta get hurt as soon as this video is done. She's gonna just straight hurt you.
She knows it's all in love. I'll tell you what, one time...
Normally, that's how that is.
One time, we, I take that joke a little too far sometimes. One time, we were at the pool, and I went diving, and as a little perspective, I used to work a full-time factory job with overtime, and I was also a manager at GameStop, too, for a little side money. And so I only got about 4 hours sleep a day. And we went to the pool having a little family day. We went with my brother Cloud and his wife, Lily, and I went, and a couple other of our friends. And I remember diving off the side, or maybe it was even the diving board. I remember diving. I remember going through the air. But at some point, I must have fallen asleep in mid-dive because I hit the bottom of the pool. And... like, I don't remember the going through the water. I remember jumping, and I remember hitting the bottom of the pool. So I had, like, this huge knot and a really great shiner of a black eye for a couple of weeks, right? And I may have taken the joke too far because for the next couple of weeks, people would ask, Mythos, what happened to you? I always respond with a really serious, like, oh, how my wife's got that gold medal in breaking. She did.
Oh, no.
I never outrightly said she hit me, but I let people think it. Apparently that was the wrong thing to
do. I bet. Well, you have to have some fun sometimes. We were in a store not too long ago here, and you're just shopping, and she turns and she went to hold some up, and I went like that. And some older couple was like shaking their head like, poor guy. She's all, what'd you do that for? I'm like, it was just, you had to be there. So, but gotta have some fun, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and of course, we end up in these positions because, about yourself, I would assume so, given Ashley's personality, but I've always been drawn to very strong women, right? Usually if I'm watching something and a lady is tough enough that she's like kicking all the guys' asses on there, I'm usually like, oh, why, hello there. And people are always like, see, this is why you're always getting in trouble with Lily, because you like the women that can beat you up. And I think I get that from my grandfather, of course, rest his soul. Because I used to look at him as a child, and my grandmother, also extremely tough woman from Thailand, and I used to always say, man, Grandpa must like the abuse. And I'm sure someday somebody will say the same thing about me. Except they won't be grandchildren, because my girls are never going to get old enough to have kids.
Good luck with that, sir. Good luck. I thought the same thing too, but no, it happened.
Well, see, I've actually boycotted time in this house, so that should stop that.
Nice. I wish I had that kind of power. So now what I do when my daughter brings the kids over, is I feed them lots of coffee and cookies and give them back. Here you go.
This is what you get for growing up.
That's right. This is what you did for having kids this early. But that's okay because now they like getting into the hobby too. So the youngest one that's why Ashley spent the money, was on the Blood Angels box captain set. Of course, the guy at the hobby store didn't really stop it. He's like, yeah, she would probably like that. She's 8. But it's okay. Go ahead, spend the money.
What am I getting blamed for?
Oh no, the Blood Angels that you bought, Jaden.
She wanted the same one as Grandpa.
I know. So yeah. So the guy at the hobby store likes her coming in, and you know, Keegan in the chat there. That's my daughter's boyfriend.
Okay.
And yeah.
Nice to meet you,
And
Keegan.
so my daughter's daughter Jaden likes to beat him in games really bad.
Oh yeah.
She's highly competitive.
Very nice.
So
All her stuff is neon pink.
no, you can't miss them on the field though, right? Because they're
Absolutely.
Hers are all
hot
neon,
pink Blood Angels. So yeah.
Gondor said that'll teach you to talk smack around her. You right. Lupus and Brother Hellchild, good evening. Bruce. You got to teach that next generation geek. You right.
Hello, Brian. That is correct, sir.
All right, so
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at what the Inquisitor said. You just have to read it, sir. What?
that's why I keep my girls in the basement. No threat. Learned it from Freak. Good day. Oh goodness.
Well, I was talking about the one where he said if you go on Craigslist, you can find a strong woman who will beat the blank out of you cheap. Like, well, possibly. But I would not do that, honey. No. That's okay. I'm just reading what somebody else put in there.
Mhm.
So.
Anyways,
He might have a busted up lip Sunday.
no, like
Yeah.
Zane, for real, you trying to get me hurt, man? Chill out. I won't play anything with money against my dog.
Wife. Oh Lord.
Maybe she can teach you how to win, brother. I didn't tell you. I learned a lot of good combos from my wife playing Duel Monsters that actually, like, yeah, she definitely taught me a few things right before, we stopped playing against each other. But then, like, I incorporated some of those things against other people. She's got a good mind for strategy. The interesting thing is that, like, she's a very strategic person, so it may take her, like I don't know, 20-30% longer to play against her than other people, but she's always comes up with really interesting strategies because she really thinks about every move before she makes it. So we heard
That's good, though.
how Ashley got in the hobby. It sounds like you're the one to blame for that. How did you get in the hobby, my friend?
Me or him?
Him. I know he got you addicted.
I've always kind of liked the hobby. I never had a chance to do a lot when I was younger. Just kind of a crazy childhood kind of a thing and a lot of work. So now I'm just trying to make up for it because gaming I've always done. Like I've been doing video games and stuff since Atari came out, and you remember Pong and Atari and all this. I still have all those consoles. So I enjoyed that, but there's more to gaming than just that. And a lot of your video games have transferred over to tabletop miniatures very well, like Fallout, awesome game. Elder Scrolls Call to Arms that Modifius makes.
I didn't realize Elder Scrolls had one.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, the terrain is nice, the miniatures. We got videos of up on ours, yeah.
They were a pain.
Painted them, but the molding they use, the techniques they use,
yeah,
it's really beautiful stuff.
Really extra strong miniatures. Surprisingly.
Yeah. So in all those factions, so if you loved Elder Scrolls, and a lot of people in the video game world love it, you can transition now to the tabletop with miniatures. So, same thing with, like I said, Fallout, and you've got other video game things. Resident Evil has a kind of a slash board miniatures game.
Yeah, Resident Evil 2, it takes place.
Mm-hmm. So I guess a lot of video gamers don't know it, so we kind of like to let them know, hey, you can also do miniature gaming too, which of course leads them off onto all the other trails of other miniature games. So like I explained to you before we started this, we're kind of like the pinball or the little ball in the pachinko machine. We do all games because we just like doing different games. So Warhammer is really cool. We enjoy that, but we also enjoy Team Yankee, and we enjoy like Oak and Iron, which is a naval with pirates.
So far, Freak and I have done the opposite. We picked a game, we both liked the game, and then we stuck with the one. And other games kept popping up, like there was been interest to try, like Frostgrave. I bought all the books for that, and a couple of other games here and there. And the same thing we keep coming back to is that, like, you know, the more the 40K games evolves and rules change, additions and stuff like that, it kind of came to we kind of came to a point where we were like, I don't really want to learn a new rule set. We haven't even stopped to learn Kill Team yet, just because we don't want to learn new rules.
Well, Kill Team's actually not much different than
Well,
Warhammer.
it is
It's
a
just
little
smaller
different.
game.
Well, it's faster though, Mythos, because like in today's world, a lot of people don't have time to do a 3 or 4 hour game. But Kill Team cuts it down to basically turns, at least the scenarios we played. So you got like 4 turns to get something done. So you're going to be able to sit down. You got a nice board. I like the boards they have with it. We have a lot of the 40K terrain. And so you can have fun, but in a shorter amount of time. And I think that's kind of what they were aiming for, to bring in different players, because we try to get people into the miniature world. We really do.
That's awesome.
You know, because there's a lot in the miniature world, but the hardest part's trying to remember a whole bunch of different rule sets. That's kind of a downfall, because we don't just do one set thing. So
Yeah, we get some of the war games kind of confused sometimes because we have like 5 or 6 different ones going in all directions.
but they're fun, and then yeah, I mean, you know, you gotta try different. Like you guys are great on Warhammer. You guys, to me, I watch you guys so I can learn from you guys, because you guys have far more extensive experiences. So do most of the people in your chat than we do with Warhammer. So it's good for us to learn too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you don't die from laughing.
Well, if I don't die from laughs, say you guys, I really honestly could not finish.
Okay, so
putting
I
the
work
decals
Thursday
on.
night, so I come home and I try to sleep at like 6 o'clock. So by 8 o'clock, I'm just finally out, and I hear him, and I get woken up.
And then she'll
Because
wake
he's
up and watch
watching
her
you
show.
guys.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I know. If he's
Yeah.
in the room trying to do something and he's dying on the floor, I know he's watching you guys.
I'm sorry if we wake you
No,
up.
no,
Well, it's not you, it's his big mouth.
Yeah, but now you subscribe to them too.
Yes.
See, I got you a convert.
Awesome. Real quick, I just want to shout out to Malaga War Games before they go back to sleep. I know that over across the pond it is crazy early in the morning. Thank you so much for stopping in, Malaga. Really appreciate you, my brother. Max. Of course, we've got some other great people that have joined us. Got the Pale Orc that stopped in. Good evening, my brother. Got Weird World War II, which is awesome stuff. Wolfenstein is a great example of one of those games that started out as a video game and transferred over. These young players can sure keep you on your toes with that new thinking. It's always good to see somebody else's tactical point of view, and when you see somebody else's kind of tactics and stuff like that, there's almost always something that you can incorporate, because you know everybody thinks about things just slightly different, right? And so certain rules, certain tactics may jump out at a particular person better than someone else, right? Question for you as a couple, since you guys play against each other sometime, have you guys ever taken a tactic that that your partners used on you and turned it back around on them, you know, during a different game or something?
Not really.
Well, you start to learn how the other person plays, so you can adjust your strategy, I guess. But she has her own unique, I'm going to stomp Greg into the ground and cover him with tons of rubble approach.
Oh, okay.
And I pretty much scream, and move my tropes accordingly to get around it. So it kind of just depends. She's really aggressive in her gameplay. Mine's a little bit different. And so
He thinks too much, I don't think at all.
Just
okay.
run forward and deal damage.
Pretty much.
Well,
That's why I like the Death Guard, because that's exactly what they're made for. It's literally just
the
like
Death
orcs. They're
Guard,
just
yeah.
gonna go and
she just
blunt force.
Weird
She
World War II
pummels.
says that's called marriage.
Yeah, it is. I'm glad.
She stomps you down and you move accordingly.
Oh, he knows that all too well. His wife will probably just stomp him in the ground.
Brian's a good guy there from
Yeah.
Weird World War II. They're another gaming couple, him and his wife Mel.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Nice. Just the Abrams are expensive points wise. Interesting. Sounds like you'll never get to them Americans. No Freakaliciousness tonight. No, unfortunately, Freakaliciousness and Mrs. Freakaliciousness are extremely ill tonight, and they just Freak couldn't make it tonight. But definitely wishing him well, lots of love, and hope he rests up. Let's see. Malaga just finished his stream, and it's 4:25 there. Whew! Super early in the morning. I can't believe you gave Kamilot. Well, he kept mentioning he didn't have any power over you here. So I was like, well, Merry Christmas. You guys are the opposites of the dragons. I like her. Nice. So, very similarly on things that I learned while playing against my partner, because, Freak is my other wife. And it was cool to see that when we play, how I deal with his castle has changed over the years, and seeing him pick up on new strategies and techniques, like, because Freak and I play each other more than we play anyone else. We like playing games, with pickup games sometimes or other friends, but of course, being that we share this channel together, we have the most games against each other, and so he's adjusted his playstyle too. He used to not be very good at screening units and, of course, arranging them to protect his field and whatnot. And now he's a pro at screening. He knows exactly which units to surround his other units, how to use his cover to keep me from being able to get line of sight for firepower, how to use terrain to keep me from getting a good charge. His screening has really stepped up on point, and he's learned to think a turn ahead for deep striking, because I used to really get him with having guys pick a good time to pop up on his back line with, Wolfen or Thunder Wolves, and have everybody just pile into his back line with, with some of my heavy-duty melee units. So he's learned to adjust to keep that from happening, which is cool to see. Each other's skills progress when you keep playing them over and over. Ashley is a charger. That reminds me of myself, because like all of my main armies are all like that. My Space Wolves, I just throw Wolfen and Thunder Wolves down the field and try and get into combat as soon as possible. My White Scars, I toss spikes down the field and try and get into combat as soon as possible. My Orcs, they're Orcs. I throw them down the field trying to get into combat as soon as possible. I have kind of a pattern going on here.
Blunt force, that's all it takes.
Sometimes.
You have to actually roll decent.
Yeah,
I'm dying to get in a game with all these new guys I've painted.
Badly. Inquisitor Zone there made a comment about getting all couples together and live stream. Yeah, that would be cool.
That'd be kind of interesting.
That would be fun. You could do it in meetings like this.
Yeah, do through Restream or something.
Yeah.
Can support it.
Brian says, gaming husband. Yes, Freakaliciousness is my gaming husband.
That's cool. Hopefully they get to feeling better, so pass that on for us too, will ya?
Oh, absolutely. He's watching right now. He's Gondor.
Oh, is he?
Chat, so he can hear you.
Well, hello, Freak. If you're watching us, we hope you get to feeling better. Yeah, being sick sucks, so.
He sleeps in his office when he's sick. I can't afford it.
Pale Orc says, if you do Art of the Week Mythos, be sure to check out the Cold War battle suit I finished today. We will definitely check that out. And we're still getting around to hobby progress after we get to know our guests a little bit. But I have meticulously applied 3,000 checkerboard marks to the Death Tread this week. So that's cool. I doing nice. Black and white on this, I wanted to try and make it stand out some kind of way, and so lots of checkerboard marks. So this should get finished up this weekend, my brother. Pale Orc there in the chat has made a couple of 3D printable files, and one of them was an Orc Death Tread on tank treads he calls the Death Tread. I thought it was pretty cool. Picked one up from his online store. Commodore is Gamecraft Dragon's gaming husband. Nice. Greg Sniper can't hit anything. I hear that
No.
a lot in your chats.
No, I can't. Ever since she painted it, I
That's
don't
what I'm
know.
saying. I want to get a game. I want to see what these other guys. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, my friend Clint gave me this sniper, and she goes, "I'll paint it for you, honey." I'm like, "Okay." It was doing okay till she painted it. Now it's like it doesn't work for me anymore. Like, I don't know. It's not. He's gonna be fired. Let's put it that way. He failed basic.
Oh, he can come join my team. Maybe he'll work.
Yeah, it's just incredible. I don't know what else to say about that. Once she touched it, that thing will not fight for me. It literally does not fight for me.
Actually, the use of voodoo is not fair.
Yeah.
In the 40K.
Actually, that was actually the very first 40K figurine I actually
One of
painted.
them, yeah.
No, that was the very first one.
So
And when I got done painting him, then I went over to the Slush.
so then it's marked as special. Now it's never going to work for me. I'll just have to.
He'll go sit on my desk, and that's where he'll stay. Then.
Yeah, probably.
All right. Well, we're going to hop over, and not quite art of the week yet, but while we chat, we can look through some of the amazing work that has come from you guys, and just take a look a little bit at your hobby.
Oh, I don't know if it's amazing, sir.
I'll call the shots here. And I think it's amazing.
All right.
This will be my time I used to abuse my power.
Okay. I have no power to use. Ashley
You've
took
never had it.
it. She took it.
You have no power here. All right, and got it set up over there. We're going to switch over now, and we're going to include this. All right, so we're taking a look at your Judiciar first. Ooh, little model. So this is for Greg's Ultramarines. Greg,
There we go. Showing
Yeah,
up.
that's one of Greg's Ultramarines that came in the Dominus box.
It's a Judicator. I
Yeah, the
believe.
Judicator.
very cool, very cool. I love the Judiciar model. I need to paint mine up, but I hear a lot of people say competitively that, I mean, you know, if you have problems in the melee phase, the Judiciar is an answer to a lot of things in the game right now. So,
Oh, well, that's good to know.
yeah, really cool work. I like, you know, the attention to detail here. You know, the skull look to the head, your work on the big old sword, it pops nicely.
The red that's actually on his gloves and the mask are actually a custom color that I made.
Very, very nice. Brian, so Judiciar is basically a chaplain in training. Like, they're the understudy.
I thought those were the judges, basically.
I mean, that's their role in the army is that they are the understudies for the chaplains, and judging is just kind of part of the duties that they execute
Oh, okay.
at that time. So little column A, little column B. Greg, what pulled you to the Ultramarines, my man?
Actually, that's kind of interesting because what happened is my friend Clint gave me oddball pieces of Marines. And so then naturally you just kind of want to try to build when someone gives you something. So I kind of just ended up with them. But then when we saved up and we got the Indominus box, I just liked everything about the Necrons are cool, by the way, in that box, really cool. But the Marines with the bikes and all that, and I finally had a force that was all together, if that makes sense, as opposed to trying to constantly piece together stuff. So I kind of I did that, and I ordered from Amazon an Ultramarine little flag, and I put it up behind my broadcast one day, and Clint goes, "That's it, you're done, you're an Ultramarine guy." And I was like, "I just put it up to show people." He goes, no, you're Ultramarines." I'm like, "Okay." So that's where I'm at. And I like them. I mean, so far, they when the big orc bosses with the claws grab them, they tend to get beat up. Her guys are hard to kill with them, but they fight on. So just without their sniper, we're not using the sniper no more.
It's all right. He can retire on
So
my
I
desk.
kind of got into it by default because they were given to me little pieces,
Okay.
and so I built from that. So that now is just mine. Hers was, well, we got the No Fear box,
Yeah.
and I thought she's gonna like
'Cause I was
it.
complaining about the Celestia's heads keep popping off.
And I thought one of my excuses, Mythos, to buy this box would be that you might like these Death Guard because they kind of resemble some of the Resident Evil kind of grossness and stuff. And so I was right. It paid off. I bought the box. She's like, oh, and then she looked at it. She goes, oh, these guys are cool. That was it. That's where we got into Warhammer. So
I typically don't like Nurgle, but when you compare it to Resident Evil, I am a big Resident Evil Silent Hill fan.
that's
But now
her.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I've been
Oh.
a Resident Evil fan since it came out in '96.
same,
So
same.
I got even the new remakes of them. So yeah,
My,
I'm a big, massive fan. I can't wait for 8 to come out.
my brother and I still quote the journal, that famous journal entry from Resident Evil 1, the 4 Itchy Tasty, when you find the diary of the guy
Oh,
who's
yeah.
slowly losing his mind and becoming
Loses
a
mine.
dog.
Mm-hmm.
Zane in the chat asked, what blue is that? It's a very deep blue.
On that one, it's just the. Oh Lord, what was the regular Space Marine blue?
Well, you used the.
No, I didn't. No, on any of them I painted, I did not use that in contrast stuff. I did not like it.
Yeah, now she's picky.
I'm sorry, I personally don't like it
See?
because
So
as soon as you screw up on any little thing, it darkens that one spot up if you're trying to fix it.
she's talking about that new one with the wash already built into the
Yep.
paint.
Yep.
So I have found for mass painting, and when I do the bodies, it works real well, unless you have to second coat, then it does get really dark. So I think you were just using the ultramarine.
Just the ultramarine blue.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Is
it's
that
been
the
faded a
Prague
bit.
blue, I guess?
I believe so.
What's it?
It's put away in my bag. I'm not digging it out.
Yeah, she has a ton
That's
of
fair.
paints.
Well, come to the gross side. I've been telling Gamecraft Dragon for, oh man, I think we've been friends for quite a while now, more than a year. And he's been trying to tell me, how cool the Death Guard are. And I was like, I don't know, man. I just don't get people who like all the gross stuff. Now that I'm like, oh, I do like Resident Evil. He's like, come to the gross side.
Yeah. Well, with the whole Resident Evil thing, to the point, I even got my little brother into it. We have to wait for our tattoo artist to come back, but we have a start of a sleeve going, and it's all gonna be Resident Evil themed.
So on your arm now is
Yeah.
already what?
I have
Stars?
stars across my arm.
Show it. Show it.
Star.
Yeah, from Resident Evil. So, anyways, I thought that she would like that, and that's,
Didn't we do this once in one of mine?
I don't know. I don't know if you can see it.
I'm going to switch over to the big screen so I can see this.
You have to scoot forward.
Oh,
more.
nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
So, her and her brother,
I'm in the process of drawing out Nemesis that's gonna go on the inside of our arms.
Holy crap, D. Have we been friends for 2.5 years already? Jesus, the time has flown. Brother Atlas also plays Death Guard. He says, we have cookies and poxwalkers.
Yep, pretty much.
I'm not sure I want any cookies that come from Nurgle.
I don't know. That would be a little creepy.
Zane still stands by the firstborn Marine list. You do you, boo. Keegan says, I hate those poxwalkers.
Yeah,
Lots of people hate
they
poxwalkers.
can't do nothing pretty much, but they are a bullet magnet. I usually throw them out first, and because it's line of sight, Keegan snipers have to go and hit them first, and I'll keep my guys back. Is normally what I do.
yeah. Death Guard's pretty tough.
So tell us about these tanks. With your
Tanks.
green thumb. Getting your
Okay,
guardian.
You're
so-
priming.
So I kept that
artillery.
picture because I wanted to prove to people not only gardeners aren't the only ones that get green thumbs, but modelers do too, right? That was because I was holding a part of the tank, and when I was spraying, And when I sprayed the base coat for those, it's the official Team Yankee color for that, because I play like the West Germans on that. So I base coat. You got to base coat them. At least to me, I want to base coat them the proper color, and then do the camo on top of it. But yeah, holding it up, I kind of sprayed my finger. I found it doesn't leave as much brush marks that way.
Yep. Here. So what tanks are these?
So these are artillery there. I think it's M901s.
I don't know, they're yours.
But
Okay,
you got, in the Team Yankee world, it's just set in the 80s, the old Cold War possibility of fighting. So you had the East and the West Germans, and you had the Soviets and the Americans and NATO forces. So that's where that takes place. That Team Yankee starter set, though, is killer. And it's, for the price, it's phenomenal what you get in it.
Yeah, I heard it's a good value. One of my favorite channels to watch, aside from your fine selves, is the Restless Kaiser and his team from Modeling for Advantage.
Yep.
Absolutely. And I know they do, some Team Yankee stuff. And, I'm not a historical kind of guy. I've never really been into historicals. But when I watch them, I enjoy what they do. And I think part of it is when you're watching YouTube, it's about the personalities you're watching, right? And their showmanship. And I think because they put on an extremely good show and they have great chemistry together, that's made me come to enjoy watching that kind of stuff. And they've done some pretty good unboxings and Team Yankee battles and stuff like that. So I'm slowly working around. I wouldn't say I'm warming up to want to play it myself, but I'm enjoying watching them now.
It's an interesting take from when I jumped from, because I was doing basically a Team Yankee, Flames of War and all them first, and then jumping over to Warhammer. Granted, I love the size of Warhammer. I do not like the size of those little army guys at all.
Well,
it doesn't help that I have over 200 of them.
Yeah, so
that's fair.
There's a lot of them to paint for you, but it's just a different.
It's a different take where you're doing more fantasy with the Warhammer stuff, and then trying to do precise, actual, like military uniforms is going to be something completely different. Oh, the aliens.
Now that picture is that's my gaming pad that I have on my table. I had made for us, but that's
you won't
aliens.
Let me touch it.
Huh? It's Aliens versus Predator, or not versus Predator. My God,
it's
Aliens. Another glorious day in the core. Yeah, because I just want to say Alien versus Predator, but that game, boy, I'll tell you what, them aliens will swarm you. You can play. Play by yourself if you want. You're still going to control the others as NPCs, but them things, the way the game's designed, every turn they come towards the nearest player, so you're not really getting away from them.
What are those xenomorphs from? This is from Another Glorious Day in the Core or something like that, right?
Yep, that's the box. Another Glorious Day in the Core.
I'm not moving.
Yeah. Because you got your feet up.
Yep, I got my feet up on you.
So she's not going to move.
Yeah.
But it's a good one.
Another one of my favorite channels, Mini Warzone. Pete does a lot of Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Core content. He's doing some of the expansions too, like the Badasses box set and the Get Away From Her, You Bitch box set.
Yep.
Those are pretty cool.
What names?
Do not be getting any more box
They're
sets.
quotes from the movies.
Yeah.
I thought it was just funny naming convention.
It is a good game because I look at it as you've got miniatures, you've got a board, and you've got cards. So you kind of encompass, a lot of what people look for in games. So.
Thank you, my love. So yeah, it seems like a really fun game, and the xenomorphs. I mean, I grew up with the Aliens movies, so it just seems like a really cool idea to me. And the amount of models that you need to paint them up to play this game just seems like a commitment.
Actually, they weren't that bad, surprisingly.
There's 16 of them. is all.
95% of the coloring on all the aliens were all custom made.
They come plain, so you
Yeah,
just kind
I'd
of.
say I had to custom make that grayish color. Other than, I believe, just the skin, all the other colors are all custom made.
Otherwise, they just come plain.
Yeah.
So but the names of the characters like Hicks and Hudson and Ripley, all that are on the bases. So I asked her to highlight them in green.
Yeah, I took my
And-
moot green, my slime color, and highlight them.
Yeah, Death Guard stuff, and so it
Very
would
nice.
come out pretty good because now you can look at the pieces and know who it is. The name, otherwise, the name blends in with the base.
I think they really do look good. And one of the things is some of the people I've seen review this box set, they do the standard shiny black, which I mean is very true to the movie. The only thing is that when I'm watching them and it's just that flat shiny black, it's hard to see the details of the xenomorph, which in the movie is intentional, because it's supposed to blend in with the darkness. But
the thing is, actually, they're not actually a black. They're more of a grayish blue.
It's a dark.
It's a
And-
grayish blue. I've looked at numerous of the old original
Yeah.
right, and I actually
pictures.
not only that, but I love the way you painted them because I can see the ridges in the spines and the the
Yeah, 'cause
texture
I
and the
highlighted
flesh.
it with silvers.
So it looks
There's two
great.
different color silvers on them.
Well, that's cool. He says they look good. It just makes it more fun if you paint. You don't have to. I mean, the box set, that's another one of those. You got the value for your money. I mean, you could not have anybody game with, and this one is set. You could game all by yourself and control the other characters and the aliens. So, might
We
be.
couldn't even get past the first mission
I know. When we
twice.
had our booth last weekend at the GameCon that we went to, a virtual booth.
Mhm.
That was a really big hit. That game.
That's
And the owners who ran it for 20 something years want to see it, and other people. So we had quite a few people come to our virtual table to watch the game. It's a fun game. I mean,
That
if you
game
like
sucks.
aliens, you like the characters.
That sounds cool. I do, like I said, I do love the movies, and I think definitely I would love to give this a try sometime. Evening, Dave. Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Clint, my brother. Let's see. Oh, the commitment of painting the number of models. He said, "Is that coming?" Brian says, "Is that coming from an orc player?" That's why now that I'm like, oh man, commitment to number of models is because I did get into a horde army, and now I'm like, I have life choices now that may need rethinking. No, I love painting, but I think part of it is I've started thinking about that kind of thing because I have my fingers in too many pies. Like I
That's
have
my problem.
6 armies, I think, for Warhammer alone, and then for the fantasy Age of Sigmar, I've got an army that I wanted to that I still need to jump on, and so there's just too many things I want to do. I've got a full Space Wolves army, a full White Scars army. I've got just over 2,000 points in Orcs. I've got about 3,000 points in AdMech. And I'm also working on my Sisters of Battle, my Knights, and my Ultramarines this year. So I've got.
Well, if you want, you can ship me your Ultramarines. I'll paint them up for you.
I've already seen you do good work with Ultras, so I mean that may not be a bad idea.
Don't give it to Greg. He's got the spray can.
Yeah, we won't let him
Just for
touch
the
them.
base coat. No.
Actually, I mean, the spray is how I do my base coat, and then I just highlight up and shade down where I want it. I feel
For
like
the tanks. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just saying. I feel like, how you start isn't necessarily a reflection of how you finish. Just because you can always add to, right?
Well, and I found that, okay, so some people will airbrush and then go, I airbrush, but why do you spray paint? Well, it's to me, if you hold the can just right, you just missed it. It doesn't even coat, and I'm using the proper paint from the company for the model. And actually, to me, on tanks, I'm talking about just tanks. I'm not talking about other stuff, but on the tanks, it really settled in well. Whereas the paint's a little bit thicker, and you would tend to see brush strokes, which it annoyed me. Maybe it shouldn't, but it just did. So it was more of a, if you use the correct color for the base coat that they tell you to, it's just like Games Workshop, their models, they go, use this paint, and you got 50 paints to paint one character. And so same thing with them, there's several different paints. And so by the time I'm done, I have to show you sometime my Leopard 2s and all the tanks. They came out, I think.
Are you
really
saying
nice.
there's paint strokes and all those guys up there?
No, I didn't.
I was gonna say you better take that back.
But on the tanks, it would show up. He's laughing. But I'm talking about the tanks, not on your.
They're talking about your
Yeah.
KFC console.
Okay, so the KFC console is a real thing. Kentucky Fried Chicken is making it. It is going to have some pretty good specs in it, and it warms your chicken nuggets, and it is a real thing. Yes.
I told Greg right before the show, I was like, I really, honestly, truly thought that was a joke.
It is.
So did
not
I
a
when
joke.
he told me. I'm like, no,
No.
you're screwing with me.
And people are going to buy it if you read a lot of the comments in the forums, because what's coming inside of it for the price is going to be worth what you're getting. I don't know if I'd want to heat my chicken nuggets up in my PC, but gamers have to eat too, so why not?
That's fair. That's fair. Oh man, those who've been following the channel for a while know I've got pancreatitis, and so I can't indulge in things that I used to be able to, like fried chicken. But man, just looking at that, making me hungry.
Oh no, I'm sorry, but yeah, it is a real thing.
Oh yeah, not that I'm saying, oh, why did you show me this? I'm just drooling right now. Couple of things. Zane says, I want a Terminator game and RPG. That could be cool if
That'd
done
be
right.
kind of cool.
Zane, original Terminator or the new ones? Interesting. The Terminator franchise and the Alien franchise and the Predator franchise should not have been touched since the 1990s, says Dave. Clint is apparently a sentient being that never sleeps. That's how he gets such amazing... If you guys have never seen the Essex Boys, best orc terrain on the internet. And that apparently is how he gets it done so quickly all the time. He just doesn't sleep, apparently. Brian says, it never ends, brother. I assume that probably goes to my too many fingers in the pot, in too many different pots situation. I've been doing this for 35 plus years and still painting armies. Yep. Yeah, and it's a good thing I enjoy the painting, but man, I can't imagine how much I'm going to have painted at the end of 35 years.
I don't even want to know what I would end up with 35 years worth of painting.
What about the build shelves?
Yeah, pretty much. I never let him touch any of them.
That's the fun of it, though, isn't it, Mythos? Because when you paint these things, first you put them together, you paint them. It's more of you in the game. Like, it becomes more of a personal thing. You've invested time and energy, and you're proud of what you feel. Except for my sniper, I disavow him. I'm not. But
Freak,
generally,
my brother Freak likes to use the expression that it gives you skin in the game. Like that's that's part of you.
Well, some of mine actually has some of my blood probably in it.
you have an army with spiky pieces.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I've been stabbed so many times
So
and drawing blood. Yeah, probably has some of my own blood in there.
I think I shared with you on one of your streams actually that my son had these Chaos Raptors, which are like their jump pack guys, and they got lots of spikes all over them.
Yep.
And he dropped one off the table, and he reached down and snatched it up out of the air.
And it stuck in his hand.
Stuck in his hand, yeah. He had a legit puncture hole in his hand.
Yeah.
They're sure.
With my bloat drone, I did that. It slipped off the table, and I just grabbed it. Yeah, it punctured into my hand. That was not fun.
Oof. My wife similarly has and again, she's not even a fan of the hobby. She's been wounded by Warhammer 2. We were moving house, and as we were packing up the old house, and we were having to pack up real quick because there was a hurricane coming, so everything was rush, rush, rush. At some point, out of one of the boxes must have fallen a clear flying stand and blended in with the carpet.
Oh, she stepped on it.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
and it left a legit puncture hole in her foot that still plagues to this day.
Oh, ouch.
Ow. She's lucky it didn't break off in her foot.
See, hobbying is dangerous a little bit, somewhat. You know.
Oh man, I hope I never get to a point where I'm selling off armies, because I think more than the play of the armies, I love the art that I put into the armies. So I hope I never get to that point. Brian said, you'll see armies come and go in that time. You might sell off armies you loved in the future. But 40-50% of your old Warhammer minis are still legal, play legal right now with the latest rules. Cool. I've loved super hard resin printed flight stands, and I lost, and now I'm concerned. Yeah?
Oh boy.
I would be too.
I mean, those are like legitimate caltrops at this point.
Start dragging your feet.
Are you saying pieces become illegal in the game? There are some units from several years ago. I think an example are some of the models from 7th, like one of my favorite character models in 7th edition. His name was Bran Redmaw, and he'd been around since I think 5th edition. And they never actually made a model for him. They just had rules, and people would kit bash their own. And this was back when Games Workshop encouraged kit bashing. And they actually had revealed at one of their Warhammer World days a model design of a prototype for Bran Redmaw. And he was my favorite character ever. Every turn, he would get more and more likely to change into a werewolf.
Oh,
nice.
He had a beast spirit in him, and he was just always trying to keep it cool. It's called turning into a wolfen in Space Wolves lore. But so, like, eventually some Space Wolves go to a point where they kind of change into a werewolf-esque kind of person. And it's usually like the half werewolf, where it's still like relatively human face with some snout, some claws, some fangs, and all that kind of stuff.
Sorry,
Bigger,
not
stronger. Anyway,
between Brian and Dave.
the thing with most
Or not
Space
Dave,
Wolves
I'm
though
sorry.
is that when they go wolfen, they completely lose their humanity and can never come back. Bran,
Oh.
I kind of want to get one of those. Those kind of sound cool.
right? Bran, what made him special is he would go full werewolf, not just like human face or anything, but like he would go like classic werewolf, where he would grow fur all over. You get the elongated snout, like the old werewolf movies. He would go full werewolf, and at the end of the battle, they would find him somewhere, and just the blood of his enemies would be running down his beard, and he'd be like half naked from like ripping off his armor pieces, and they would always find him with blood running down, the blood of his enemies running down his beard. They would call him the Red Maw. Well, that was that's still to this day my absolute favorite character, and I used him like every single game, even though he was like 20 points too expensive, not very points efficient, not, his didn't have the warlord. You could never take him, I think, as your warlord, because he liked being alone. But his rules weren't great, because it was like until you changed it into a werewolf, but a lot of times he would be killed before you could change it into a werewolf. So he wasn't great in game, but I used him anyways because the werewolf thing was just so cool. And then in 8th edition, they started getting rid of characters that they didn't have a model for, because what was happening is that these third-party companies would be like, oh, they don't have a model for this guy, we'll make you a model for this. And so Games Workshop's like, we don't want this guy no more.
Oh, okay.
Which is a shame, because every year when they do the survey of what would you like to see in the future from Games Workshop, I'm like, bring back Bran Redmaw. Anyways, I went on a tangent. Let's go back to your artwork.
You're okay, man. It's all good. I was just looking at what Dave was saying too. He almost had a injury with the knife there falling on him. That actually happens because a friend of mine, Clint, the one that gave me the pieces, he was, his bosses don't listen. So anyways, in between calls, he was doing his models. And he had an X-Acto knife on the desk. And it fell off the desk, point down, and stuck him in above his knee. So he texted me, I'm bleeding. I'm like, well, I can't help you. I mean, yeah, that'll get you. You got to watch that.
Brian, Squats is another. That's a full army that lost their range because Games Workshop wrote them out of existence. So basically, they used to be like kind of the Warhammer game used to be kind of comedy oriented, right? And that's why orcs are kind of like misproportionate. They had squats as just like mini marines. When they made the shift to being more dramatic and cool and less funny, one of the things they did away with was squats. And I think also there was some concern over, offending people as well. People of
I get you.
yeah.
We got you. Yeah, they've been getting kind of. There was an article not too long ago about that. A lot of people are screaming at Games Workshop, and all I have to say is it's a fantasy game.
Yeah.
Like it's not geared to harm anybody in any particular. It's just a game. But today you got to be careful, even what you say and do.
Yeah, and I think there can be extremes on both sides because, like, on one hand, I agree. Some people are too sensitive and look for reasons to be offended. But I think there's the other end of the spectrum where some people are like, it's my right to be able to say what I want, but they use that as an excuse to intentionally be a douche, And I think just a happy medium should be where it's at. Like, let's not be too sensitive, but also don't be an asshole, right? I think there's room in the middle for people to just enjoy the game and get along.
Mythos, are you asking for common sense? You are, aren't you?
I know.
Yes,
I'm asking for a
agree
lot.
with you on that. Yeah, that's a lot sometimes. But yeah, you kind of need to just have some common sense when you're doing things. And I'm not against freedom of speech, but I hear things that offend me, and I don't care because I'd rather be able to say whatever. But I do try to draw the line and try to make sure I'm at least being respectful or something. I don't know. It's kind of hard for anybody like us doing shows and channels. I mean, you have to watch literally everything you say and do. And
you're right.
That's why you're married
Yeah.
to me. I don't care. They can just go
I
away.
just sent Ashley out after him. Yeah, they could just go away.
If they don't want to see it, don't want to hear it, well, guess what? There's a close button.
Yeah,
That simple.
you can do that.
Let Dave's example be a warning against hobbying naked. I mean,
it's not a good thing.
Depending on your hobby, I guess.
Depends. Oh, I didn't notice you put that picture up there. So that picture up there, you guys, that Mythos put up, that's like a door.
It's a puzzle door.
Yeah, on the Elder Scrolls Call to Arms game. Like I said earlier, that Modiphius terrain pieces, they're like thick, heavy duty. Like you're getting your money's worth. I've never seen anything that solid. And that's a very detailed. Their stuff is extremely detailed. Like to do the fine stuff is kind of, it's crazy neat. You'd have to see it. Well, we got on our channel. You can look and see if you care to. Like we unbox that and show the pieces, but it's
brilliant
worth
looking terrain. Absolutely.
The map is beautiful. It's a double-sided map, right? And it's big. So one is snow and the other is
Like
grass.
inside of a dungeon.
Yeah, it's all I can say is anybody that's played that video game is gonna love playing that tabletop version, and they may or may not, want to necessarily always go back to the video game. So it's good.
Naked wargaming is a thing, but that's for another podcast. Is that for the Hub channel?
No, Mythos,
No, he better not bring that up
that's-
on Sunday.
no, that should be us on a collaboration as a pay-per-view, sir. Pay-per-view.
You were not getting with any of that. No.
Did we talk about this on your show Sunday? The Gamers with
Yes.
Coffee Only fans?
Yeah.
Yes.
Only fans. Yeah, that was fun. How'd you get your channel shut down? Oh, no big deal.
So what game did you say this is here? Because with your mat, with
That's
your terrain, this is the Skyrim.
Yes, this
That's
is
a
Skyrim.
map.
It
Yep, and that's
looks-
some of the tokens.
Great. Both of you paint this? Ashley, you paint this?
I just painted.
She did the painting on that one.
Such a cool looking scene.
Yeah, our son actually bought it, and he flat out told his dad he did not want him touching it.
He didn't say it that way. He's all, Mom, can you please paint these?
Dad can't paint.
He didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
You're gonna have to whip him. Okay. Well, that's it. He's cut out of the will. No more.
Wait, what will?
I don't have a will, but
I was say, wait, what will?
I get that.
Because that would have killed you a long time ago.
I do pretty good painting, but she is a lot better.
It's a
she does it on a different level.
It's a shame you dismissed the servants for the night because you could tell them now to go ahead and change
I
the
know.
wills.
But I wanted to be fair, Mythos, and give them a chance to go home for a while.
You've given them the night off, but you're like, go home and watch our show.
That's right. Or you're fired. So I tried to advertise us being on your show in our group. I put your guys' link to your page and stuff up for you.
I appreciate that. We did get some
Yeah.
amazing new subscribers tonight, so thank you very much, everyone who joined us.
Yeah, I noticed some of our people showed up there. So that's the thing is I like just meeting other gamers. It's fun to just honestly meet other people who do the gaming in whatever game you like. You know what I mean? I get excited over stupid little things, I guess, but that's us.
I think we all do, though. I think that's kind of like that kind of excitement over these kinds of things is part of why we're here at what we do, you know? I mean, you know, there's an expression, everyone's a nerd for something, right? So.
Sure. Well, earlier today, Ashley caught me trying to turn the clock forward, and she goes, "That's not going to help you get on the show fast." I'm like, "Darn it!"
What are these cool little ships from?
So
That's the Oak and Irons.
that's Oak and Iron. I see the one page you got the Blackbeard's Revenge. So, in the game is a naval game, so set back in the age of piracy. So you got your historically accurate miniature ships. You got to sail around on the map, and some of these you see they don't come painted. So Ashley did some painting on the ships as
I did all the painting on the ships.
that's a Kraken.
That's my Kraken.
Release the Kraken!
I've been telling him I wanted a Kraken for a while, so he happened to get me one. There was one at our local game store that I wanted, but it's like $160.
Yeah,
I mean, it was like a massive thing that
It's-
had half a ship.
that
I kept telling him I wanted it, so he bought me this little bitty tiny thing. I'm like,
that's
all
nice.
right, it'll work.
This is cool though.
It works perfectly for the ships. I'll admit that. But I want something to put on my desk.
But
That's fair.
this will work. This was more scale wise, and it was 3D printed. I got off of eBay. I think it was $9 something.
Nice.
So she painted it up because that just comes all gray or whatever. But it just kind of adds to you got your pirates, and it could be just an obstacle because you have islands and all sorts of stuff. But this just kind of added something else to the table. Not necessarily an official part of the game, but something to avoid. So it was kind of cool. So these games give the naval games a shot because they look boring and you're like, I don't know, but they're actually pretty fun. They really are.
I like the ships, but I really, really love the way the Kraken came. It looks
Thank you.
good.
So that's actually it's the oh shoot. The same red that I used, I custom made up on Greg's
The gauntlet.
Judicator. And
Yeah,
then
the
it was blue and a light blue and my moot green is what made that like tealish color.
Oh, nice.
See, that game comes with that map with shallow water like that or deep water. So it's kind of cool, and that piece just fits right in with the size of the ships. Of course, you got to turn and make sure you're shooting at your opponent sideways, broadside, but different tactics. So it's just a different way of strategizing. But the Kraken guy, he's in his own little box there. She's going to make him a cave, like take the styrofoam half rounds, and she's going to make like a cave for him to come out of and attack the ships.
Oh, that's cool. I
That'd
really
be-
like how you painted the water too.
That's like 8 different blues in there.
There's a whole bunch of different blues. I don't know if this is right. She just kept going over and over it, so it came out pretty good.
Actually, I made it.
No.
I put accent. I made it pretty close to the deep waters on that map, without even trying.
I like the chat. No, we're not crackhead and crack. A little bit different. This is a Kraken, but yeah. Oh, so miniature gaming is like crack, right?
Pretty
Once
much.
you start, you're kind of you're going to be an addict for life. And
So these are just closer pictures of the Skyrim figures.
I really love the Khajiit there. The armor, the coloring on the Khajiit markings, like it really does capture the feel of the game. Good work.
Yeah, I played Oblivion, so I knew somewhat of what the characters somewhat looked like. I hadn't played Skyrim. My kids had it, so I downloaded it. My son changed it so it wouldn't keep saving. So I was able to get like I don't know, probably about an hour and a half worth of gaming, and then it killed me, and then it sent me back to where I first spawned. I'm like, what? No, I gave up.
She wanted to get a better perspective and found out it didn't save for her unless.
Nope, I was mad. I haven't touched it since.
You guys are really making me want some Skyrim miniatures.
The Elder Scrolls
They
Call
are
to
very
Arms
nicely done.
is really nicely done. Yeah.
If you get the box set, you will have a struggle putting them together. The ones they did like after.
That's up there.
No, second door. They come in like 2 and 3 pieces, so it's a lot easier to build. And I just painted them right up on the sprue, then cut them and trimmed them.
Right on.
I don't know if you. Yeah, you probably can't see it well. There's.
You just made them
Oops!
flat.
Now they're tipping here. That's a lot of the figures, but
This is all the figures.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to kind of show Mythos this one. So here's part of an arch. Okay. Let's see how big this is. I
That's
can.
pretty massive.
So, and it's pretty detailed. See, so it looks like old stone with some snow on it. This is part of it, and it goes together and comes over. But look at this stuff is thick. This is not.
Oh yeah, that's some chunky resin.
Well, and it's light, so it's not heavy, but it's.
Okay.
I guess what it is it doesn't feel hollow. Maybe it is, but it feels solid.
Nice.
Like you're not holding it going, oh, this is crap. You're holding it going, wow,
So
I got my money's worth.
it sounded like resin when you were knocking on it. Is it maybe plastic?
It's, well, I can't really tell. It's like an off. That's the bottom. It looks like it doesn't look like plastic. It looks like some sort of lightweight resin. It's a different type of resin, is what it feels like. I don't know.
No.
So
I found an arm. That's not good.
Oh well.
Someone's arm fell off.
But it's
Whose arm fell off?
yeah. I mean, so you got 2 pieces that just make a massive.
Oh man, that is a huge piece of terrain. That's awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I would use that for a piece of 40K terrain.
It would work awesome in 40K because really it would fit right in with being on some of those worlds that I've seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And their maps would work too because it's the same type of terrain, so you wouldn't be restricted to just that. And then the walls, some of the walls have tombs with skeletons and coffins. So you got the wall, the brick around it, and then in depth more brick, the skeleton, and it's just detail on their stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's exciting, and I thought it was pretty cool.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, if you like Elder Scrolls Online on the video game, then you're gonna like it on the tabletop. So. And yeah, so Weird World War II, it does come with treasure chests. And you can set them out just like in the game, and each one you don't know what treasure is going to be in it. You can also have the enemies and skeletons attack if you get within their range or line of sight. So it plays like the video game.
Is this some of your Team Yankee stuff here? That looks like a lot of soldiers.
Which ones?
Oh,
Those are all mine.
yeah, the ones in the box there. She
Those
just
are all
got
mine.
glued down. Those are
Very
all hers.
nice.
Do you notice she emphasized they're all mine?
Mine.
How many times?
Mine.
See?
Very cool.
Hey, Dan's in here now.
Yeah.
Annex.
All right.
But
Before we hop to Art of the Week, I'm going to show some of my stuff. I got a ton of stuff completed this week, guys. And of course, you guys have probably already seen them on the socials because I've been posting everywhere. But like this week, I've got a good 80% of my Death Tread done. And I got a dozen. I had one of those weeks where you just finish a bunch of stuff that's been sitting on your hobby bench for forever. So I finished off a dozen grots, plus Makari. Little Makari here. Like the way the highlights came out on the reds and stuff there. and then him with the boss, so he can be following the boss around. You can see my Voltron in the back, and my Red Dragon Thunder
Nice.
Zord back there.
Very nice, sir. Looks good.
Thank you. And then, of course, you guys saw me plaster this everywhere. My Party Bus Bone Breaker. I did a whole bunch of weathering on it. Got my little rock goblin here. Really enjoyed that. Those are the speakers that Freakaliciousness was kind enough to print out for me. And I really think him printing those really helped set the speaker off. Side view, so many different kinds of metals and weathering. Detail on the so I have 2 big shooter turrets, but for the other 2 big shooters, instead of slapping guns on, I decided to paint up some extra green skins to have them shooting out the side. That way it could look like the little window gets used, you know. There's the one on the other side. And you know, for all these weathering panels, because I didn't want all my panels to look the same, because like the Battle Wagon model is like covered in random ramshackle panels of metal. So I did some weathering with oils. I did some weathering with powders. I did some of them with acrylic washes. I just used kind of a variety of stuff here. And then, of course, my favorite part, did the stage lights, little OSL there, and then I wanted to bring more of that light out and kind of catch where the light would reflect off of like the speakers and the grot here. And of course, I love doing the OSL glow like I do with plasma. So this is definitely, and then my little bouncer grot here, smoking his cigar.
That's cool.
That was just a ton of fun. I can't wait to put him in game now. All right, catching up on the chat, and then we'll do some art of the week. See what some other people have contributed to this amazing hobby. Looks like an Eldar 40k terrain piece. Yeah, I thought it could even be Eldar terrain. Could use it as a Chaos Gate. Yeah, I thought about that too. That's really good idea. Axe, hey everybody, good to see so many superstars all on one screen. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. Keegan says that terrain piece is too nice for Necrons. I sometimes watch Grandma Shirley Curry playing Skyrim to fall asleep and relax. Yeah, I heard she does a great Skyrim stream. Soviet Company, that must be the Team Yankee models we were looking at earlier. Those are the best weeks, absolutely. I'm a hobby butterfly, so I tend to have a lot of stuff half started on my desk. And then when I have that week when I'm like finally like, let's finish off all of this stuff, it's a great feeling. That's old Makari. That is the new Makari from the Prophecy of the Wolf box set. Thank you very much. Skyrim, where they replace the dragons with tank engines. That would be fun. Wrecking Ball. Add the Wrecking Ball, but make it a disco ball. Oh, that would be a good idea. I didn't put the Wrecking Ball on there because I was like, with that, because it's a bone breaker, I was like, with that red roller, it doesn't need any other melee weapons, but it would look really cool with the disco ball. Oh man, that would have been a great idea. Brother Brian from Mini Warmutt says, Psst, whoa, to all of you. Good evening, my brother. A bloody disco ball. That would be really cool. Grandma Shirley's a delight. Can I send you my orc mythos? Absolutely. And Pale Orc did send me some pics on Facebook. So we are going to go ahead and kick off into Art of the Week and get those pics right up. First we have the Pale Orc. And loading that up. And then, of course, now I'll switch the screen here. Chows. So we're looking at the backside. I don't know why that was the first picture I opened up. Because I like looking at him from behind. So this is a Tau Cold Star Commander that has been looted and orked up. And we're going to look at it from another angle now. Love the smoke effects on the boosters there. Also, I love how it looks like the backpack is chained on to the orc. Very cool. Got a face shot. Rocking the missiles on one arm. Good close up. Check out the weathering on the armor panels. You can see the grime and buildup on the armor. That is like some really great weathering. Another angle so you can see what's in that orc's other arm is a Tau drone. Pale Orc, my man, let us know in the chat what that other drone counts as, or is it a drone? I don't know. I know these are your orcs as Tau, so you let me know what it is. Here's that shot. So it's kind of cool because like the way he's holding it in his arm, it almost looks like a buzzsaw from like, you know, a Mega Knob model or something, right? With the missiles. But yeah, I mean, it just looks cool. But when you look at it from underneath, you can tell it's a Tau drone. Another angle. Really, really cool work. What are your thoughts, fam?
Nice work. Very nice.
Could have a second one that holds a disco ball over that top flat area. Good idea. Good idea. Nice work by Pale Orc. Oh, great AOW. Hold on, I need tissues. Separate truck just for the disco ball. Nice. Go Faster Red. Why does his Orc Cold Star look better than my actual Cold Star? I mean, Pale Orc is just a talented man. That's why. Pale Orc does some phenomenal work. What was used for the smoke? Pale Orc, my man. The inquiring minds want to know. I know he does some 3D printing, so maybe that's it. I was asking what is the Tau drone here for. He says, Zane says, it's a frisbee of doom. Lupus says, thank you, Mythos. It's time for bed. It's 4:21 here. Watch the rest later. Have a great night. Looks like it's all GW pieces, so it is 100% an Evil Sons GW tournament compliant. Very nice. I hang around people who are too good. I feel like that's my problem, Zane. Orc themed Tau. If I play it as Orc, it can be a saw. Otherwise, it can be a shield. Very nice. No, I know the feeling. I hang around Freak who paints way better than me. And so I'm just... although on the other hand, I feel like hanging around someone that paints better than me has driven me to become a better painter. I feel like I don't do... half the stuff I do now, I only do because I'm trying to emulate stuff that Freak can do. Although him being able to airbrush straight lines with no masking... Jerk. A jerk that I hope feels better soon, but jerk. Oh, Art of the Week. Oh, great. Art of the Week. Hold on, I need tissues. You know what's funny is, I don't know why that threw me off, because I have it abbreviated here in my Streamlabs. Dave is an amazing painter. I can absolutely agree. That's how I feel about the whole GWC community. Again, you're right. Lots of talented people there. It's house-made clump foliage on wire and then spray painted. That's what his answer about how he made those smoke plumes. House made clump foliage. Who would have even thought to use clump foliage as smoke effect? I would never have imagined to do that. Freaking Pale Orc is just so creative. That's awesome. That is how an orc would look in real life. Interesting, GW. Don't paint in that style. Yeah. I love the weathering you do and the way that you paint your orc stuff. I don't think I'm familiar with Axe's work, but Mini Warmutt says that he is a great painter as well. So I would love to check that out. I cheat my way through everything.
Annex is actually a really good painter. I've seen some of his work on our Discord, and he's done really amazing work.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I do love seeing amazing work. That shot right there, the face looks awesome. You know, I love the contrast with the skin and like the fleshy color in the mouth. You know, and then it offsets the armor really well. Such good work. From G the Hyper Sapien here. Look at the weathering on that axe. That's so good. Also,
Very nice.
I love this sculpt here. Cyborg Cross. Because I love that mechanical hand holding onto the axe. That's so cool looking. This is, I think I recognize that face. This is a Gear Guts model, isn't it? G, my man. You know, you were, Axe said a little bit ago that he cheats his way through everything. And I tell people that all the time about my work. I'm like, because I know I have a lot of friends who paint better than me. Is why I always try and do dynamic bases, because I feel like if you have a really popping dynamic base, again, I love the scratches and the blood effect and the rust here. If you have a really dynamic base, sometimes it helps push you ahead a little bit. So, yeah, I kind of cheat my way as well through some of this as well. Very, very cool work. I love, love, love being able to see kind of the blood effects where it meets the cybernetic parts here, like inflamed tissue around metal, which, you know, you can actually see with other people who have like surgical grafts. Again, that you can see that effect really good here. Also, something I don't do with my checker marks, and I know I probably should, but I just love the look of clean checkers, is I love how weathered these checkers are. Brilliant detail there. Really, really great work, G, my man. Actually, I'm going to leave that hanging there while I check the comments. Pale Orc says, see, I can paint green orcs. Yep. Those who aren't familiar with Pale Orc's work, he usually does a reverse of the expectations for orc colors. So he'll paint like human flesh tone for the orcs, and then he makes all of their armor green, and so it's kind of reversed from expectations, and it looks great. It is definitely interesting to see, though, and he actually, you know, he gets teased sometimes about his orcs not being green, so he's like, see, I can paint green orcs, and it looks great. Here, G, my man, great work. Got some amazing people in the chat here. Grumpy Guy Gaming has joined us. Welcome, Grumpy. Those who don't know, we're going to be looking at some of his stuff for Art of the Week here in a second, but Grumpy had an accident recently and busted up his arm and hand real good, and so he wasn't able to paint for a while, and he still has trouble lifting stuff, but now he's actually got enough movement back in his hand to be able to take up painting again. And man, when I show you the amount of quality work that he's able to crank out even with his injury, guys are going to be sick of him. He's just such a talented painter. Big Mech Danskull, good evening, good morning, and wah! So, Big Mech Danskull there, again, another one of my favorite channels, just like Grumpy, just like Pale Orc, just like a lot of these amazing people here. But Big Mech Danskull is going to be on a Twitch stream with Let's Make It Orky. So look them up on Twitch. Great hobby stream. Let's Make It Orky. Let's Make It Orky will be doing a 12-hour charity live stream Saturday. So tomorrow if you're on this side of the pond, today if you're on the other side of the pond. But they'll be doing a Saturday live stream, 12 hours. Well, Orky will be doing it for 12 hours. Big Mech will be guesting on the show at some point. So check them out. And of course, it's always great to participate or even watch to support a charity live stream. I only watch Hyper Sapien Orc unboxing videos. Never seen his work before. He's good. He is really good. I still have the red Gobbo inbox because of G. Very nice. Hyper Sapien needs to do 99 more like that one, right? Chat full of great talented artists say they are not good painters. Me burning my models right now. I didn't say I wasn't that good. I'm okay, but I'm just surround myself with better painters than myself. Especially, Freak. It's funny because there was one point I was just like, what the hell? So I put out a Thunderwolf Cavalry showcase and it only got like 40 views. And the next week, Freak put out the same Thunderwolf Cavalry showcase for his cavalry. And I think it was like one of the HQs or anyways, he puts out one of his Thunderwolf Cavalry videos and I got like 40 views and he ended up getting like 120 and I'm just like, what the hell? But like I said, my brother's a better painter, but it pushes me to work harder and improve my own skills. I plan to do more painting stuff, just need to get through my orc boxes. I want my Tau to stand out from my normal army. Awesome. So we'll be seeing some more green skin from the Pale Orc. There's my brother Freak telling me to shut up. Let's Make It Orky will be live 7.5 hours from now. And Big Mech will be joining her 2 hours later. Very cool. Definitely, please check out the charity live stream from Let's Make It Orky. Spelled just the way Big Mech's got it in the chat there. The model isn't finished. The orc still needs a bit of work on bits. I just explained to my grandfather why I had some checkered stencils for lady snails. Varnish painting. I told him about orc goths and miniatures, and I'm not sure he believed me. Why do you have nail stencils? Hey,
I've never actually thought of using nail stencils. I've never thought about that.
That's actually a really brilliant idea.
Yeah.
But hey, as I like to say here on the channel, babe, my man, baby, do you. You do you. If you want to do some brilliant art on your nails, you go, Dave. You go. All right, our next one here, we got some Slaanesh models. That's right. Gee, the Hyper Sapien doing up some Slaanesh. Love those poppin' colors. I'm okay. I'm an okay painter, Freak. I was just saying that I'm pretty good because I spend a lot of time chasing you. That's all. You drive me.
But you've learned techniques from him, though.
I have. In fact, there's a lot of showcases I have on the channel that are directly me copying one of his tutorials on my own channel. He and I share this channel, and I go look up a tutorial on our channel to see him doing what he does, so that way I can learn. Like flame effects on one of my dreadnoughts. Let me show you guys. Pretty proud of this. Okay. The dreadnought is actually packed up in the closet right now, but I wanted to do flame effects on the shoulder of a Salamander's Dreadnought. Those of you who don't know, Salamanders are all about fire and flamers and stuff like that. So I wanted to do a fire effect. And like years before that, I think 2 years before that, he had done a commission for somebody else's Salamanders, and he learned how to do flame effects, and he did a little tutorial. And I went back and watched that 2-year-old tutorial he did, and I learned to put this flame effect on the Dreadnought shoulder pad. So
Nice.
yeah, but so like there's stuff he does. There's a couple of things like a windshield shine effect for a window. I went back and watched his tutorial he did for the channel and learned to do that kind of reflection effect there on the windshield. So yeah, by
And
watching.
that's not hand painted. That's spray painted
Yep,
or
Yep, airbrushed.
airbrushed.
So yeah, he's.
Yeah, I have one. I haven't even attempted to even touch it.
It
I'd
is.
rather do everything by hand.
It is definitely a learning curve, and at first I was so frustrated with the learning curve. I tried to use it for about 3 weeks, and then I locked it up, put it in my drawer, and never touched it again for another year or two. I was punishing this inanimate object, as my brother Rob from TMP would say. I was punishing this object because I was slow learning it. It's kind of funny. Nail art stickers on shields is a thing as well. That actually sounds like a really good idea. What are those from? The models are from the Slaanesh army. Where are my manner? Thanks for the shout out, Mythos, my brother. Oh, you are absolutely golden, my brother. It's my pleasure, and I hope you get a lot of support on your charity stream. Well, I mean, Orky's charity stream, but also your part in it. Prince of Chaos for the win. Very nice. You guys hear about the YouTuber Sword and Steel? Got a strike because she showed some Slaanesh from the latest edition of White Dwarf. Interesting.
They must be topless or something.
Well, sometimes those algorithms don't work because on Facebook, I tried to was going to write up a thing and just pictures of the minis on the sprue, and it come back and said you can't advertise adult stuff, and I'm like, these are sprues.
That's
I wrote Facebook. I said, how stupid is your AI? It's a gaming community. We're not selling any type of these things. We're not selling anything. It was just a picture, and they labeled it completely wrong. And I have no idea. I mean, I don't even know how it was twisted. So I'll bet it was some of those figures.
That's frustrating.
They did that, yeah.
We got flagged for inappropriate content once, and they actually shut our stream down midstream.
Wow.
Love, love, love these poppin' colors, G, my man. Especially this one on the right. It reminds me of Mardi Gras colors. And a demonette here for those days where she's feeling extra crabby. You need to watch Kenny Boucher's to get good with an airbrush. It's a completely different painting game at his level. I agree. And if I had to pick, I don't know, a top 3 artists I would want to emulate one day, it would be Elstonation, Kenny Boucher. Actually, who would I name for the third one? Like, those two are just so mind-blowing. That's who I start with off the top. Nice Slaanesh model, dude. Electric colors. That is the way. Very nice. I believe their AI is dumb. Greg, my man, you right?
Yeah, it is. If it can confuse a miniature for some sort of adult object, then I don't know how you help that. And it shut and it sent it right back to me like, you can't do this. And I had to write them and say, I have no idea how you even took it in that direction. Like, but that's what it did. Yeah.
Old Greg showing the prawns on his channel.
What? Yeah, no, not showing anything wrong on our channel.
Check out, this is from Grumpy Guy Gaming. First of all, actually, before we even look at how amazing this model is, I just want to scroll down Remember, I just said Grumpy is just now healing from a busted arm. Still can't lift, but is thankfully getting enough movement back in his hands to do some painting. And look at this volume here. The man has painted more in 2 weeks with the busted arm, probably than I've painted all year. I'm at 52 models for the year. I think he's painted more with the busted arm in 2 weeks. Elstination and Grumpy. Actually, I would probably list Grumpy as my third person. Elstination and Grumpy just paint a ridiculous amount of models, and it's still always good quality. By Painted is another one I would like to paint like, even though brilliant artist, I can't watch. But brilliant artist. He's just if you've ever had a chance to watch a channel called By Painted, amazing artwork on that channel. But he has this really relaxing music in the background. It sounds like the kind of stuff you would hear at a spa when you go to massage therapy, right? Like sometimes I go to have my spine realigned, sometimes I go to have my my lumbar adjusted, and you know that relaxing kind of music massage places have in the background. That's what it sounds like on his channel, and he's just got a very relaxing voice and a little bit of an accent. I think it's might be French, but it's just very relaxed. And you're listening to this massage music. It's like, and then we will apply. It's almost ASMR. It's like, then we will apply a highlight in the top-down position. Now I'm just like, you know, alarms are going off because I'm hitting too many buttons on my keyboard. When my face hits it, I'm just like, you have activated sticky keys. Oh. Hobby cheating.
Why I haven't painted too much is because, or watched videos of them, because a lot of people do have that too relaxing. I'll just fall asleep. I just won't be able to pay attention.
What's funny is the dichotomy, because I can't watch By Painted. It's too relaxing and makes me sleepy. But there's a strategy video channel. In fact, my favorite strategy channel is Auspex Tactics. And he talks about, and I guess because my brain finds the strategy interesting, but he also, in all fairness, talks in a very monotone voice. He's being professional, and so he's being very clear, concise, and slowly spoken to be very, very professional. He's got a very business, like, you know, today we'll be talking about the brand new release from Space Marines Primaris line. We're taking a look at the yada yada yada, you know, and it's very quiet spoken, very direct, very concise, and I can see where that puts Freak to sleep, and but I can listen to it all day because my brain he's got, to me, the best breakdown of information, and I find the strategy interesting. Freak will go straight to sleep, but he, because he's very artistic minded, processes the art from By Painted, and me, I can listen to By Painted for 2 seconds, and I'm just like I said, so it's interesting. All right, so looking at that sheer amount of brilliant work in 2 weeks with busted arm, Grumpy has cranked out so many models. One of them we're going to look at is this Mega Knob here. This Knob and Mega Armor with the Combi Flamer, Power Claw, ready to just march up the field and do some damage. Love the weathering. Love his bases. You're going to see a little bit more from his bases here in a minute. My brother Rob from the Miniatures Paintbrush, who I was just talking about like 10 minutes ago. Good to see you, my brother. Gosh, why did I bring up your name? Oh, Rob. Now I'm really thinking about that. I brought up Rob's name for something. Anyways, that's going to bother me for the rest of the night. And I'll probably remember as soon as we end the stream, and I can't tell you all why I was talking about the miniature paintbrush here. All right. Awesome Mega Knob from Grumpy here. Go check out Grumpy Guy Gaming's channel. Amazing work. And I showed you guys my Macari earlier. And now we've got Grumpy's Macari. And I should have thought to do the checkers on the flag itself. I don't know why I didn't think. That was a damn good idea, Grumpy. Man, and those flags are actually really tiny. I don't even know if I would have been able to do such tiny checkers on this flag here. Really great work. The back of the big boss, Gazgul. Love, love, love. He's got such good... this is not just chucking a wash in the recesses. He's got some very deliberate rust effects in all the crevices.
Sorry.
My weathering is never that deliberate. Feel free, by the way, if you guys have anything you want to say. I happen to get going and I accidentally talk over people, so feel free to cut me off.
You're okay. You're saying what you guys say there. I'm just looking at some really nice work. This is some really nice work you're showing.
This is a big mech in mega armor.
Oh, wow.
With the custom force field on top. And of course, we've got the custom Mega Blaster here. Very cool. Gazgul from the front. Awesome, awesome, awesome work. I love the way all these chips in the metal really stand out. That really just makes the claws look more hardcore to me. Interesting thing here, he's always got such good bases. You can usually see like dead figures on the bases. And in the Horus Heresy sets, a lot of times when they do these really extravagant bases for the Horus Heresy, they'll toss in a dead Marine on the bases because a lot of the 30K stuff is Space Marine Legions versus Space Marine Legions, right? Because it's about the Chaos Legions versus the Loyal Legions. And so they'll toss in some dead bodies on the bases. As smart as Grumpy is, he will make casts of these extra dead bodies, so that way he can keep populating his bases with dead bodies for tons of stuff in the future. So, pretty cool project. Another Mega Knob here. Knob in that Mega Armor. Very cool. Again, those teeny tiny checkers on just the sides of his bats. This guy's got to paint with the tiniest paintbrush, I'm telling you. A second big mech. This one with the teleporter up top. That is really cool. Another angle on Gaz. I like this one. I love the angle on this picture because A, you can see the coloring on the bone. You know, start out ivory here and work its way to darker tips. And then also you can see the color transition on the red of the teeth. You can see that dead on face look from here. You're staring down the barrel of the gun. It's a very dynamic shot here. Love it. We got here a Pain Boy, the Crazy Doc. Is this the kind of apothecary you'd want walking on you, Greg?
I'm sorry, what, sir?
I said, look at this Crazy Doc here. This mad scientist of a doctor. Is this the kind of doctor you'd want working on you?
That's probably the kind of doctor I would need to fix me after she got done running me over. Yeah. I was trying to reply there to, I'm sorry,
You're fine.
Miniatures Paintbrush. Hello, sir. Thank you for saying hi. But yeah, just some of the work you're showing is, I mean, it's pretty cool. And I don't know everything about the orc stuff, so I'm trying to look at when you're saying certain things. I'm trying to look and see what it is that's on the model. So, but orcs are pretty cool.
Yeah, he's done a great job. The Grumpy guy asked where my sexy voice is. Usually when I announce Grumpy, and I've been requested by a few people to stop. But see, Grumpy's not offended. Okay? Usually I try and replicate his voice, and everybody always tells me that I come out sounding like the Count from Sesame Street. But when I'm watching his channel, it sounds like, to me, welcome to Grumpy Guy Gaming. That's what I feel like I've got it. I feel like I've nailed it. My brother Freak and my lovely Lily and half of the chat always tell me, no, you don't sound like Grumpy. You sound like the Count. Now, to jump over, an amusing thing, because we have this debate almost every week when he jumps in the chat. I just want to show you guys. My amazing brother, Grumpy Guy Gaming, and his amazing wife shared with us this that she recorded.
Grumpy Guy Gaming Doji Dole.
Did the Count voice for me. So, there we go. So, Grumpy's not offended, guys. It'll be okay. That is awesome. Big thanks to Mrs. Grumpy. That Mega Knob is a step between heavy metal style and realistic style. I think if you go full heavy metal style, it ends up like a Hanna-Barbera cartoon, which is okay also. You know, that's one thing I say all the time. Everybody's got their different paint styles. And, you know, I matter what stage anyone's at with painting, or what style they have, I kind of just appreciate people enjoying their own artwork. So, you know, it's all good. It's all gravy, baby. Good to have Brother Rob in the chat. It's going to bother me till the end of the show. What was I talking about? Why did I summon his name?
James went and said it. It was up a little bit. About his airbrushing.
What did I say about the airbrushing?
Is that about blaming
Oh,
the
right.
inanimate object?
Okay, and Freak was trying to tell me in the chat. Okay, yeah, everybody was trying to tell me. Yeah, about how, much like yourself, I wasn't good with the airbrush at first, and so I threw it in a drawer and punished this inanimate object for the fact that I was slow to learn it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Freak. Thank you, James. Gosh, I could not remember. You guys are sitting there yelling it in the chat. Damn good. Look at that Grumpy Gazgul. Nice. Nursing your eye, James. I hope it's feeling all right. Look how the checkered patterns are deliberately imperfect. Yeah, that's what I was noticing that too. Because orcs wouldn't be super straight and neat. And then me, I get upset if things are like not centered right, or if something's format's a little off. And so even though I know orcs are imperfect, I am constantly trying to neaten up my checker marks and make them more neat, even though I know an orc wouldn't do it. I need to like not be that way. Sometimes I just can't help it. Inquisitor Zane, have a great night, my brother. Mythos isn't a it isn't a second mech, just magnetized. Oh, nice. And all the Mega Knobs have their options magnetized. Very cool. It was good to have you here tonight, Zane, my man. Thanks for joining us. Imagine if that pain boy was a dentist. Oh man, I would not want that pain boy pulling out my teeth. Oh man, James Meeks having air bubbles in his vision. Hope you get better soon, my brother. Grumpy has that next level painting style. Absolutely. And Dave says he's going to progress to that one day. James, this guy downplays his work all the time. James says he hates his artwork. Man, I'm telling you guys, I'm making an official statement in the chat here on the Frost and Fist. Meeks is going to be passing me up soon. I'm telling you guys, this guy gets cooler and cooler with every piece of art he does. Thing with heavy metal style is that it lacks tonal variations, particularly around flat areas. It relies too much on washes and recesses for that. I sound like a pompous art critic. And you know, everybody has their different art style, but that is why I tend to favor a lot of the Kenny Boucher style, because it, and even, I mean, Brother Rob, I think, is not a big fan of Kenny Boucher's, but I see a lot of it, the same kind of techniques in Brother Rob's artwork too, where he and Kenny and a lot of other artists that I really like to emulate do the thing where they use airbrushes to highlight flat areas of panels and bring a brighter surface to that flat area. That's it. You sit in a corner until you learn to let me use you like a pro. Yeah. Don't the orcs use teeth as their money? Yes, they do. They spend the teeth. All right, we're going to go back and look at some more brilliant artwork. So we looked at a couple weeks ago a couple of squads of commandos, and Grumpy has gotten around to finishing up the rest of the commando squads, and all of these, such cool work. They've all been converted up to look different. You know, there's no repeats in his commando squads here. Love that spear with that. Of course, I love the very Krieg style, very, you know, post-apocalyptic gas mask there on there. This one, a very sneaky orc commando with the chainsword, because that's the quietest, stealthiest weapon in the realm of 40k, with a bolter and in an extremely stealthy orange camouflage. Hey, if an orc believes it, it's got to be true, right? This, I think, is so cool. This orc here with the hat and the big fist reminds me of the Catachan model that looks like he's from out of the Predator movie. That's pretty cool, seeing a power fist on an orc here. Love it. You can see here a lot of these conversions have been meant to include Imperium weapons here. Chain swords, chain axes, power fist, bolters. Lots of conversions here. Very cool looking.
Okay.
Another squad here, again, armed to look very Imperial looking. Double lightning claws, again the bolters and bolt pistols. Again, I really love the way that spear stands out. What is that spear made from, Grumpy? I kind of want one in my army now. That'd be cool to have in my White Scars army. Oh, I don't know why I didn't catch this before when you sent me these pictures. I love the orc that's just flipping somebody off. The big old claw. Like, definitely very come at me. That's so cool looking. $30K style bolter here. Very cool. So much love and customization put into this artwork. That is a really cool conversion on this chain axe here. It looks like a punching weapon that's a chain fist. Yeah, that's like a chain axe. Like you've taken the head of a chain axe and made it into a punching weapon. Also, shout out to Freak here, or Commodore, a looted Imperial fist shoulder here. Definitely probably pulled off the body of the fallen. I like that blue urban kind of camo. That looks really cool. And it's incredibly lucky. Because everything that's blue is lucky for the orcs. There's the Colonel orc here. Love it. I call him the Colonel Orc because he reminds me of the Colonel from Halo. I love the lightning claws on an orc too. Can you imagine a big old brute punching you with one of those?
No. Thankfully, Ashley can't buy attachments like that in real life, huh? I'd be in trouble.
You would definitely be in trouble.
Don't tempt me.
Although, I don't know if you've ever seen the show Red versus Blue, but
Yeah.
one of the ladies says to her captor in one of the episodes is, you know, look, punk, I don't need a weapon to kill you. He's like, oh yeah, what are you gonna do? Punch me in the face? Or punch me? And she just takes one step towards him. He's like, not in the face, not in the face. I love the free-handed teardrop symbol for the Blood Angels there. So much great work to make everything unique here in this orc army. Like nothing looks like the other one, you know? Oh, even a Tau weapon here. And that is the best use for a Tau weapon. And then we looked at this brilliant work earlier when we were spotlighting our amazing guests. And that, right on the money, is 1101. Good night, Brother Atlas. Take care and have a great night. The axe is from the corpse grinded cult in Necromunda. Nice. Stole a pauldron from the Imperial Fist. The middle finger, yes. Ah, that spear is from a Dark Eldar Raider. I need to get one. We need more Tau on Art of the Week. Even though your Tau look amazing, it's oh. Actually, with your permission, I'd love to feature some of your brilliant looking Tau on Art of the Week, my brother. And that is, I think we're caught up on the chat. Yeah, absolutely, my brother. Show me some of your Tau weapons. I love, love, love what I've seen up in the Miniatures Paintbrush Facebook group. Looks amazing. Bottles are converted. Heads are from Forge World. Just want to be naughty. Add a Space Marine helmet to the base of Area Orc. Nice. Grumpy Man, brilliant, brilliant work. Check out Grumpy Guy Gaming's channel. Check out G, the Hyper Safety channel. Miniatures Paintbrush. Check them all out. Such brilliant work here by everyone tonight. We're going to go back to the bigger chat here. All right. Anything? We are hitting the 11 o'clock hour here. So, guys, any closing things you guys want to talk about or any closing thoughts?
Oh, for us? I didn't know if he's asking the chat. I was like, yeah, I actually had fun. I think Ashley had fun. And it's nice to see all these people we didn't know before and just see their reactions and meet them. So probably going to go out and check some of their channels out too. So yeah, I'm glad you had us on the show. I appreciate it. So it's been fun.
It was absolutely my pleasure. This has been a blast tonight. Ashley,
did you have a blast? Yeah.
No, it's amazing how some of these guys can do some of this work.
Yeah.
I agree. This is usually the section of the show where I have a weekly bonfire and we burn my brushes.
Burn your brushes?
Burn my brushes because I will never equate to this. But that's okay.
I don't know. Your stuff's doing pretty good. I mean, I think your work's pretty good.
You do a lot better than I do.
Other people commented when you posted that picture earlier, so it's getting more and more traction too, sir.
I appreciate it. Like I said, I'm just trying to chase these other brilliant people that we work with. And you know what's funny? And by the way, I just posted the link to Gamers with Coffee. Guys, please, if you haven't already, go give our fam here a sub and check them out. You guys do a talk every Sunday. Usually
Yep.
it's an open call, right? You invite other guests to hobby and chat with you.
Yeah, it's open. You guys can jump on in. We'll send you the link for it. It's just a gamers kind of hangout. So pretty much it kind of goes everywhere on whatever game you want to talk about.
Very cool.
So,
And I know you frequently feature main man Brian from Weird World War II on there.
Yep.
And Clint, right? And
Yep.
you have a couple other regulars you see in the chat pretty often, right?
yeah, modeling for Advantage. We started following them when they were just beginning. So we've gotten along with them for quite a while. Matter of fact, we're going to be on there, like guests with them on the 23rd. So they're going to have us chit chat with them. So we're just having fun. We got to meet you guys, and we enjoy your show. Normally, I don't get to stay up this late and finish it, so I didn't know about your burning brushes because I usually get up at 4 tomorrow morning for work.
I can sleep in.
Yes, you can sleep in.
I appreciate you guys staying up so late to hang out with us tonight. Ashley, I know you've had virtually no sleep, so a big thank you to you. You guys have absolutely been a fantastic blast to hang out with and chat with tonight. Good people. And I'm definitely looking forward to hanging out with you guys more and seeing more amazing work from you guys. Like they mentioned earlier, they got to be part of a convention just the other day. They even have up on their channel a cool little video for an alternative hobby, making some wine. So check that out.
That's why we need the coffee, Mythos.
Fair enough.
To recover. But all you guys there that said hello back, we're going to check your guys' channels out. So, especially when I get off work tomorrow, going to probably do some stock.
Oh, don't lie. You'll be doing it while you work.
Yeah, probably. Shh. Not supposed to tell them.
Also, shout out to your Facebook group. There's a Gamers with Coffee Facebook group. And actually, for having just come across your channel recently, I had no idea, but your Facebook group is really big and your Instagram following is really big as well. Each of you have well over 1,000 subs on Instagram. So, you guys definitely have a great presence all over the internet. So please check them out everywhere.
Thanks, Mythos. We promote you guys a lot. One person said, "Why do you guys promote them?" I'm like, "We love them."
Roll right back.
You guys
up.
are great. So anytime, and you guys are welcome to swing by whenever.
Thank you so much.
But thanks. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll have to have you guys up on our channel one day.
Whenever
Absolutely.
you guys want to.
Absolutely.
And maybe we
It'd
can
be my
get
pleasure.
Rick to get in there as well.
Hopefully he feels better soon, for sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope he does get to feel better. Being sick's no fun. So.
Mm-hmm.
Thank everyone who's here in the chat, or even if you're watching from the archives tonight. Thank you all so much for watching tonight. It really is our favorite way to kick off the weekend is with some good hobby chat with good people like yourselves. If you guys liked tonight's episode, please make sure that you grab up an ox and smash that like button in the name of the Emperor. Of course, drop us some comments down below, and feel free, especially if you're watching from the archives, to be part of any of these tonight's ridiculous conversations. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to Gamers with Coffee, subscribe to any of our Chilling Network fam down below in the description. Or if you're not subbed here, then I know at least those amazing people to the other side of the screen, myself, and of course the very sick Freakaliciousness would love to have you all as part of the pack here on the Frost and Fist. Until next time, guys. Stay frosty.
See ya.